Good morning. It is 9:24 a.m. on Friday, February 8th, 2019. I'm Christiana Ellis and I just got up. This is 5 more minutes. Well, better than, you know, getting up at 12:30. I am, it's interesting because it's possible that if I were to really enforce bedtime and getting up time on myself, I would be adjusting faster. Maybe I should do that because what I've been trying to balance is the idea of wanting to adjust to the time, but also making sure I'm getting enough sleep. And what is still happening as a result, though, is that in the morning, like right now, it feels like it should be bedtime in my brain, and it's very difficult to get up and moving. And then when it's actually bedtime, I'm not tired and don't feel like going to bed. So that, of course, is the exact problem with jet lag and why it's more difficult to go east than west. Even though, again, I don't know. Some of that stuff is science and some of it is, you know, superstition. I don't know. Anyway, I'm still a little like, but at least I did get a bunch done yesterday. And what else? I was most recently, as in a few seconds ago, irritated because my tea was making noises at me. Now, I don't know if this is something everyone else has encountered, but I sometimes find that when I add the tea bag to the hot water, it makes little sort of buzzing noises. I think that noise that I just made is probably not a terribly good representation of the noise. And it tends to last for a while. And I was Googling it just a little bit because I was curious, and the only explanations I found seemed to assert that it was actually the mug that was likely to be making the noise, like tiny cracks that air comes out of when it's heating. So like if the mug expands because of the hot water, that's what's actually making the noise. And I suppose that's possible, but my perception of the issue is that it seems to be coming from the tea bag to me, and that when the tea bag has lots of air in it, that like if the air is coming out of the tea bag in a tiny way, that's kind of what I had always assumed to be the issue. But now I'm curious because I certainly don't see any cracks in my mug. They could be tiny microscopic cracks, but I am not. Sometimes you are just so perplexed by an everyday household science question that you descend into gibberish, like just then. Slowly but surely, I'm starting to get kind of back on track as far as things that I had put off for a while I was getting readjusted to the time zone. So I'm getting there, but I'm still behind schedule on a couple of things that I really kind of wanted to be further ahead on. In particular, I'm planning to self-publish the ebook version of Phyllis Esposito, Interdimensional Private Eye, and I've got it almost there, but I kind of keep not pulling the trigger. I sort of can't help but feel like, shouldn't I make like a big publicity push and then put it out? I don't know, but I think I'm scared of it, honestly. I mean, I have to analyze that my hesitation is, it seems scary, like I'm going to put it out and no one's going to buy it, and if that's true, then maybe that's what will happen. I guess we'll see. But, there's always that tiny part of my brain that worries that I'm gonna underachieve it. Like I'm if I put it out and I don't publicize it very much and it doesn't sell anything, well, then it didn't sell because I didn't push it. And that's still disappointing, but at least it wasn't a failure in quite the same way. It's like people just didn't find it because how could they? But if I work really hard to publicize it and then it doesn't sell, eh, I don't know. I think I'm existential about it, but I think what is more likely is that I need to go ahead and start talking, get it to where it is actually ready. Start talking about it a lot for a week to publicize it and then put it out and then keep talking about it. And that's really the plan. So, but I'm starting to think, though, that because I'm going to have a week at the end of February where I am going to be a little bit more off the grid on a vacation, it would probably be better to not have that be right in the middle of the time that I want to try to actively sort of promote and publicize it. So it might be that I'm going to plan to have that release be after that. Yeah. I'm still thinking about it. I really don't have a concrete plan. I'm admitting here on the internet that I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Anyway, I will talk to you all tomorrow for 5 more minutes.